Hi, welcome to another episode of Comics Review. I'm your host, Kevin Starkey. The first comic I'm going to talk about today is The Punisher. This is issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. It's a new series. Greg Rucka is the writer on this, and I hear that a lot of people are a fan of his, and I had never read anything from him, I don't think. I used to be a big Punisher fan back in the late 80s, early 90s. Punisher had a series, War Journal, a couple of series going, and I was a big fan of all of those. This comic starts out with not much writing, a lot of panels with nothing to read, which it bugged me a little bit at first because I need a little help sometimes. I think following what's going on, and I mean it just keeps going and going before you get to the. Then there's finally some writing there, but it's a lot of action going on, and I like the artwork a lot. I like the style, the colors. It's kind of dark and gritty. There's two cops. A black guy who's an older guy and then a young white guy, they're partners, and they're trying to figure out what's going on here. And I don't think the Punisher says anything in here, and you don't really see him a whole lot either. But I would say, you know, I'm definitely tempted to add this to my pull list. Um, I really, I like the Punisher because he doesn't really have any superpowers. He's just a pissed off guy who's looking for justice, and I dig that a lot. So I don't know if you like that sort of thing. I would say definitely jump on this series. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty decent series. The next comic I want to talk about is The Infinite. This is issue number 1. This is by Robert Kirkman. This is from Image Comics. And I just recently heard that Robert Kirkman is actually taking himself off of this series for whatever reason. And I have to say I'm disappointed in that. It's a neat comic. I've heard some people didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. There's some time travel involved in here. There's people fighting each other, good and evil sort of thing. The one guy goes back in time, and I don't want to give away too much of the plot. He recruits some people in the past. There's a nice twist to who they are, and they're trying to prevent these evil doers or whatever from getting as powerful as they are in his time. So when he goes back, he's going to try to beat these guys earlier, I guess. So using his knowledge, and then go back and then beat these guys. I thought it was pretty cool. I know people didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty decent. Actually, before I heard that Robert Kirkman was leaving it already, I was thinking I might add this to my pull list. I may give it another shot and see how it goes. But yeah, see what you think. Maybe run out and get it. This is a $2.99 comic, which isn't too bad. And if you check it out, let me know what you think about it. The next comic I'm going to talk about, this is Severed, issue number 1. A lot of number 1s this week. This is Scott Snyder, who does the American Vampire series, which I'm a huge fan of. Love that series. He's the writer on this with another guy, Scott Tuft. And this comic starts out, well, it starts out with an older guy who's missing an arm, and it looks like it's in the, I don't know, 60s, I guess, or maybe 50s. Elvis is on TV, probably for the first time. And then this old man begins to tell a story of his past, and the rest of the comic takes place in like 1916, when he was a little boy. He was adopted, and he finds out that his dad, his real dad, is in Illinois. He's in New York. He's going to leave his home. I think he's like 14 years old, leave his home and travel to Illinois by train or however he can get there to try to meet up with his dad. And then there's another boy introduced here who's in an orphanage, and he gets picked up by an older man to do work. He's gonna live with this older guy and learn a trade, I guess. And there's a twist with the old guy. And let me read a little bit about what this series is going to be about here. There's some writing in the back. I'll just read you a quick little paragraph. Severed is meant to work the way good horror movies used to. Movies like The Exorcist or The Shining, movies that slowly build up an unsettling, creepy feeling before showing their teeth. This build will happen over the entire series of Severed, with the horror coming from a deeper place, from the shadows, where it quietly lurks, waiting for just the right moment. So, if that sounds like a cool series to you, I definitely highly recommend this. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm skipping the ratings this week since I've already gone through 3 and haven't rated them, but I would rate them all very high, 4 or 5 range, 4 or 5 stars out of 5. And here's the last comic I'm going to talk about. This is Broken Pieces, issue number 0 from Aspen Comics. Mark Roslin is the writer on this, and created and written by him. Micah Kenishiro is the illustrator on this. Now this comic, it takes place in the future, 2032, and there's some big disaster in America, weather related, and it's like, I don't know, it's very strange. There's a guy in here who is sort of the monster character. It looks like he's missing parts of his skin. He's wreaking havoc, and there's, I don't know, it's very hard to follow. This is issue number 0, so they're sort of introducing you to the characters and the story and all. A lot of characters, a lot of new stuff, and I had a hard time following it. I'm probably going to have to read it again. Interesting art style. I wouldn't say I loved it. Very strange though. I don't know. It's different. I can't say I loved it though. I may check out the next issue, issue number 1. And just see where it's gonna go. After I read this again, I might decide for sure if I will. But sorry, I'm kind of rambling today. But this issue, very confusing. I was hoping I would like it, and it was completely different than what I was expecting. So, and it's $2.50 for that comic, which is a pretty decent price. Let me just mention briefly the rest of the comics I picked up this week. Quite a big stack. Brimstone. This is issue number 3. That's by Zenescope Publishing. Here's 68. This is by Image Comics. I think this is issue number 3. Yeah, number 3 of 4. That's a kind of a cool series. Dalmu, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Issue 6 by Image Comics. I'm enjoying that one a lot. Here's Drums, issue number 3 from Image. Kind of a strange series. I'm anxious to see where they're going with that one. Here's Green Wake, issue 5 from Image Comics. A lot of Image Comics this week. That's a strange series. I think I was thinking about dropping that one, just because I need to start trimming the fat a little bit on what I'm collecting. That one's kind of very strange. Here's Moriarty, issue number 4 by Image Comics, The Dark Chamber. And that one I'm really enjoying a lot. I definitely am going to stick with this if it keeps going. It's kind of a lot like, oh, it says the end here, so I guess this is the last issue. It's like a Sherlock Holmes story. A really cool art style, kind of rough and gritty looking. I really enjoy that. And here's IDW comic. What's the name of that? Hellbound Train. This is issue number 3. And that's kind of a creepy, weird series. Not great art at all, but interesting story about trains and stuff. And then The Walking Dead Weekly, another Image comic. This is number 31. And I'm enjoying that series still, and I say that every week. Okay, that's it for this week. Please leave a comment here on YouTube or over on my blog at twodognight.net. Let me know what you're reading this week. Have you read any of the stuff I talked about? And I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.